What's up, everybody? So we're gonna check out. Let's see what Critical Drinker has for us. I like Critical Drinker. I like No Way Home. I like DC, and I like the DC universe. So all those three combined is a recipe for goodness. Let's jump into it. And here we go.
One of the annoying...
Oops. Here we go. Alright, there we go.
One of the annoying things about moving into a new house is that there's usually a few odds and ends left by the previous owners that you have to deal with before you can start making your own mark on the place. Those broken picture frames gathering dust in the attic.
I gotta pause. I gotta pause. You know what? This isn't like normally when I'm making these videos, I try my best not to interrupt like the reaction. Because then you I try and save all my thoughts for the end, but then it feels like I'm just sitting there watching a video and you know, and waiting for my turn to speak, or waiting till the end of the video. It's like I'm just sitting there watching a video and waiting till the end to say something. So from now on, I'm just gonna pause whenever the heck I want to, and that way the video is mostly just me stopping and starting and talking rather than just playing straight through a video. Anyway, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to remember that. But anyways, my point is why I paused this video is because this guy Vigo the Carpathian, I don't know why he's in this video. I don't know why he included his image in this not Spider-Man, but this DC universe No Way Home video. Like, is the Flash the No Way Home for the DC universe? I don't know why he included Vigo the Carpathian, but I got something to say. Dude, Vigo the Carpathian is one of the most menacing, scary movie villains of all time. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's crazy like how underrated as a villain. It's like he is the only movie villain from my childhood. The only movie villain from my childhood compared to anyone else. Like Jason Voorhees. I don't dream about Jason Voorhees, right? I saw the Friday the 13th movie when movies when I was a kid, right? I saw a bunch of the Friday the 13th movies when I was a kid. But Vigo the Carpathian is the only one that I've had nightmares about my entire life. Even as an adult, occasionally I'll still get a nightmare about this guy. And that's saying something for as menacing as a movie villain. This is just like, it's the same dream every time. Like, it's terrifying. It's like this dude's in a building and like he's sending out like a beacon, and it's just terrifying, dude. It's terrifying. Like, he's just omnipotent. Like, when I'm having a nightmare about this dude, the dude is omnipotent and is freaking menacing. I mean, just look at this painting. It's freaking menacing, dude. Menacing.
In the attic, the rusted old lawnmower left behind in the garden shed, or that suspiciously large bloodstain on the bedroom floorboards. Oh wait, maybe that's just me. But this clumsy little analogy brings me not so neatly along to James Gunn and his takeover of the wildly out of control oil tanker that is DC on film. Yeah, he's announced a whole slate of new projects that will theoretically be commissioned under his tenure, to the excitement of literally dozens. Tell me, on a scale of 1 to Captain Marvel 2, how excited are you for Creature Commandos, or Waller, or The Authority?
You will respect my authority!
I mean, Warner Brothers seems to change creative directions more often than I change my underwear, so whether any of these ideas will actually come to fruition is anyone's...
Dude. Well, okay, first of all, like, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you heard me a second ago, but Look at how hoppy Ben Affleck's Batman was. The way he was hopping. Like, the way he was hopping from ledge to ledge was just kind of funny. But yeah, when James Gunn was introducing his DC Universe plan in the video that he uploaded to Twitter, I said the same thing about all the projects. It's like, who the heck cares about an Amanda Waller show? Who the heck cares about that Misfit cast or whatever, the cartoon thing? I'm like, this is not enticing. Like I said, all that same stuff.
Guess. But the point is that whatever Gunn's grand plans might be for the future, the one thorny little hurdle he has to get over first is the legacy projects due to come out this year. Basically holdovers from a now defunct universe that everyone at the studio has to pretend to get excited about until they've finished their theatrical run, and then they can drop them quicker than a needy, overweight ex-girlfriend's. Shazam 2, Aquaman 2, and of course, The Flash, a movie saddled with a controversial star who, if the headlines are to be believed, spent most of the past couple of years as part-time cult leader, part-time domestic abuser, and full-time fucking Fruit Loop.
You big lantern-jawed, bug-eyed, chunky-faced, bone-idled, dim-witted bastard, you!
Endlessly delayed by pandemics and expensive reshoots, and ultimately rendered obsolete by a complete Studio 180. You're gonna have to go some to make this one work, Flash. But hey, we finally got ourselves an official trailer last night, which begins to go some way towards explaining what the hell this movie's even supposed to be about. So let's lift the lid on this one, shall we? The movie follows nobody's favourite superhero, Barry Allen, better known as The Flash, a guy whose main superpower is his uncanny ability to annoy the fuck out of anyone he's talking to.
They have like a rhythm that I haven't quite been able to... Like brunch. Like, what is brunch?
I mean, run really fast. And I'm talking fast enough to break the barriers of time and space itself. Something that was hinted at way back in the days of Batman vs Superman in a scene that made about as much sense as Vin Diesel comparing the Fast and the Furious franchise to Lord of the Rings.
Did he really? He did that? Oh my god.
God bless you, Vin. Never change. Anyway, in this case, the Flash comes to the realization that everything's a bit shit in his world these days, and if that's not a veiled reference to the absolute state of the DCU, then I don't know what is. So naturally, he hits upon the idea of using his powers to travel back in time and alter past events to fix the present. Because, you know, going back in time and tampering with the flow of past events with no idea of what's going to happen has never had disastrous
Remember Biff
consequences.
Tower? Look at that.
I completely broke the universe.
Oh Barry, you silly sausage you. Now ask yourself a serious question, dear viewer. What could possibly be more insufferable than Ezra Miller? The answer is, of course, 2 Ezra Millers. Seriously, whatever writer came up with that particular plot idea must be questioning the purpose of his own existence at this point. So it looks like Barry done messed up and prevented the creation of metahumans in this new timeline, and now he needs help
But
to get things back on
to be
track.
fair,
And wouldn't you know it,
we
help
got
may just be at
so many
hands.
other characters like this
I'm Batman.
to make
Now,
up
if
for
there's
the
one thing
two
and
Ezra
one
Millers.
thing only that may prevent this movie from being a 2-hour snore fest, then there it is, standing before you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, even a jaded asshole like me felt a tiny thrill of excitement at seeing Michael Keaton back in the Batsuit again. But then there was also another part of me that couldn't help thinking, this is the movie that brought him back? It would be like seeing Robert Downey Jr. come back as Tony Stark in season 2 of She-Hulk. I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. He was originally meant to show up in Batgirl, and God only knows what that movie would have done to him, but I can't shake the feeling that the studio were very much aware of the fact that Keaton's
I'm just
the
a
only thing
dude
selling
playing a
this
dude
movie,
disguised
so they've made
as
the absolute
another
most out of
dude.
him in the trailer. Possibly even overselling him, you might say. Oh yeah, and there's also an appearance from Supergirl. Remember Supergirl? The star of one of those abandoned DC movies that got shit-canned by David Zaslav because he was smart enough to realize that nobody was going to replace Superman? Well, I hope she enjoys her time in the sun here, because I suspect it may be extremely brief. Based on my limited understanding of the thinking behind this movie, The Flash is intended to do for the DCU what No Way Home did for Marvel, bringing together different versions of the same characters from different realities to combat some larger threats. There's even a subplot about the main character having to lose someone they love in order to set things right again. Whereas Peter Parker had Aunt May, Barry Allen has his mum. And just like in No Way Home, the real selling point here is in seeing your favourite actors playing the role one last time, interacting with each other in ways that never would have been possible before. It's basically just a gimmick, and the thing about gimmicks is that they tend to get old pretty quick. Like seriously, how many Batman do we even have in circulation right now? There's Batfleck, an actor who was underused and underappreciated by DC almost as badly as Henry Cavill. There's Robert Pattinson's Batman, who's moping and brooding his way through his own separate universe, and now Michael Keaton's version is making a comeback. That's 3 different variations of the same character in active circulation at the same time, not to mention whatever new version James Gunn eventually decides to bring in. And instead of complementing each other, it feels almost like they're in competition, each vying for the audience's loyalty and approval with no clear idea of who's meant to be, well, the main one. The other major difference here is that No Way Home was built around the extremely likeable character of Peter Parker, played by an extremely likeable actor in Tom Holland. The Flash, unfortunately, doesn't have either of those things. Not only is the character of Barry kind of an insufferable arsehole that feels like he's trying way too hard to be funny and quirky, while coming across about as natural and charismatic as Brie Larson at a press junket. But moving outside the scope of the movie, I'd also class Ezra Miller as a massive liability after the fun and games of last year, and the fact that there's 2 of them in this movie just means twice the irritation. Honestly, I get the feeling that if the studio had invested less money in this movie, or it was at an early stage of production, they probably would have Batgirled it into oblivion without a second thought. As it stands though, it's basically a giant expensive turd that they've been holding in as long as possible, and now that they're finally touching cloth, they've got no choice but to squeeze it out, hoping against hope that it doesn't crack the toilet bowl on the way down. I mean, maybe I'm wrong here and this movie will turn out to be the best thing that DC have ever produced, which ironically would present an even bigger problem for them in the long run, because if these 3 legacy movies from the mothballed DCU end up becoming massive hits, then how the hell are they supposed to put it behind them and launch James Gunn's new version?
Yeah,
I've got no
that
idea,
would be hilarious.
and quite frankly, I don't care, because it's not my job to fix this shit for them. Because quite frankly, they made this rod for their own backs, so don't expect me to feel bad for them.
What if the Flash is too good?
But either way, I think it's going to be fun to watch this play out. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away.
Dude, I'm sure they would have loved to have reshoot, or if they were early on in the production, or if they were in pre-production, they would have definitely recast Barry and got Ezra Miller out of the way so they didn't have to deal with all that drama. But they were for sure too far already in, too much money already spent on special effects and shooting scenes that have, you know, too much facial shots of Ezra Miller, and then so they kind of like they were kind of stuck with their investment, and then but it'll be hilarious if the Flash does really well. It'll not because of Ezra Miller, just because of everything else in the movie, all the other cool stuff like Michael Keaton, Michael Shannon, Ben Affleck, etc., etc. So if it does really well, proving that people want more Snyderverse, multiverse type stuff, then it's like, oh, that kind of ties their hands with James Gunn's moving forward. I was like, that's a good point, dude. It'll be so funny if they do really well. They probably won't though. It's more likely that they're not going to do really well. The Flash might do really well, but Aquaman 2 is probably going to suck. And what's the other project? I forgot. Anyways, but yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and all that, and follow me on Twitch. And peace out.